And we're going to go ahead and start. We're going to go ahead and start our class seated. And go ahead and sit with your feet at a 90-degree angle. Inner edges of your feet in alignment. And go ahead and sit up nice and tall. Stefiana, hello. And I'm going to put, hi, I'm going to put in the chat box the sign in so you can sign yourself in. And go ahead and lift all your toes up and then go ahead and set them down one by one and feel the connection to the earth below you. Good. So we're going to warm up our neck first, and we're going to do this about 10 times. So you're going to exhale and look over your right shoulder. Inhale, chin toward your chest. And exhale, look over the left shoulder. Inhale, chin toward your chest. And just keep moving like that, inhaling and exhaling. Exhaling, chin to chest. Inhaling, looking over the shoulder. Just notice your range of motion here. Notice if one side seems a little more sticky than the other. Just be aware of it, that's all. Good, one more time in each direction. And then we'll all come back to the center. Good. Okay, very good. And now we're just going to work on some exercises for our hands, just to help with dexterity. So we're going to go ahead and put our hands out in front and then go ahead and make a fist. So thumbs inside, open up wide, thumbs inside and close. We'll call this 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, and 10. Good. Now open up your hands, fingers spread out nice and wide. And now fingers together. Good. Open up nice and wide. Fingers together. Wide. We'll call this 3. Together. 4. Together. 5. Together. 6. Together. 7. Together. Really spread them out. 8. Together. 9. Together. And 10 together. Good. Now we're going to do a hook wrist exercise. So you're going to make like a claw shape with your fingers, and then you're going to open them. So claw and open, claw and open, claw and open. Richard, I think I'm keeping you awake. Claw and open, claw and open. Here we go. 2 more times. Then we're going to work on our wrist mobility. Good. And now go ahead and put your hands in front of you like you're pressing your hands on a wall. So this is really going to be about your wrist. And now you're going to exhale and just take your fingers down to the ground. 5 to the count of 5. And then you'll inhale back up about 5 counts, like you're pressing on a wall. Exhale. And inhale. We'll call this 3. Just the wrists. I know you're going to be out golfing this weekend, so you want to be sure your wrists are nice and limber. Call this 5. 6. 7. 8. Almost done. 9. And 10. Good. And now you're going to put your thumb inside and close it. And we're just going to do rotations with the wrists. So feel this with the wrists. Call that 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, and 10. And now we're going to reverse it. 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, and 10. Good. And now just go ahead and shake it out. Shake those wrists out. Good. All right. So we're going to continue to work with our shoulders and our hands. So bring your palms together, interlace them, and now you're going to push them away. So you're really going to open up the palm of your hand. And then as long as you don't have a rotator cuff issue, go ahead and bring your arms up, release, come down into cactus arms, elbows tight next to the body, and look up. Good. Again, palms together, interlace your fingers, push your palms away, open up those palms, and inhale overhead. If this bothers your shoulders, just skip it. Cactus arms come down, elbows are tight next to the body, fingers look at open nice and wide, and look up. Good, a little baby back bend here. Again, palms together, interlace, push away, inhaling overhead, exhaling, elbows tight next to the body. Inhale, baby back bend, look up, good. Palms together, interlace, push away, inhale overhead, release, exhale, and baby back bend. Good. Again, palms together, interlace, push away, inhaling overhead, exhaling, elbows tight next to the body. Inhale, baby back bend. Palms together, interlace, push away. Couple more. Inhaling overhead, exhaling. And now inhale, baby back bend. Exhale, palms together, interlace, push away. Inhale overhead, release, and baby back bend. Very good. Open up that heart center. Good. Go ahead and bring your hands back to the tops of your thighs. And you have your choice. We're going to do this next series. You can either be seated or you can stand up. So I'll just give you some options here, okay? So I'm going to stand up. So if you're standing, just have your feet hip distance apart. If you're seated, just have your feet hip distance apart. And we're going to start just by swinging the arms. So wherever you're at, just swing your arms. Notice the range of motion in the shoulders. Make some big movements. And now we're going to do something different. You're going to bend the elbows. Bend the elbows. And now just notice your range of motion. Notice how it feels in the elbows, the shoulders. We're warming up the body, preparing ourselves to relax. Good. Okay, so slow down a little bit. You might want to open up your feet a little wider, and we're going to do our crossing of the arms. So just alternate which arm is on top. You can go at whatever speed is comfortable for you. And again, just notice sensation on the front of the body compared to the back of the body. Notice how it feels. Good. And then go ahead and wind down. And I'm going to show you two options for a twist. If you're standing, you're going to open up your feet a little wider than hip distance apart, and we're going to do empty raincoat sleeves. And you're going to twist like this. Your head can stay in the center, or you can move it with the spine. If you're seated, you're going to sit your feet hip distance apart. Take an inhale, and on your exhale, just turn to your right. Take a breath or two there. Inhale back to center, and then exhale and turn to your left. And just alternate back and forth, whatever works for you. Nice gentle twist helps us with digestion. Good. And then if you're seated or standing, go ahead and come back to center. Just take a big diaphragmatic breath here. It's always good to do that after a twist. And we're going to start to loosen up our hips. So since I'm seated, I'm going to show the seated version first, okay? Then I'll show the standing version. And again, this is to warm up our hips. If you're seated, you can cross your left ankle over your right knee, if that works for you. Hold the ankle with one hand, and then the other hand put on your knee, and just make some round movements. Whatever you can do here is good. So you go like 8 times clockwise and then 8 times counterclockwise. If you're standing, you can use a wall or a chair. You can hold on to it for support, lift your leg, and just make big movements like this. Just see if you can do this 8 times clockwise and then 8 times counterclockwise. This helps kind of wake up all those muscles in the groin that get so tight from sitting all day. And then after you've done 8 times in one direction, do 8 times in the other opposite direction. If you're standing, try to make nice big movements and challenge yourself. And you can put your hand on a wall or on a chair, anything to help you with your balance. And then we got to do the other side, right? One body, 2 sides. So again, if you're seated, you're just going to cross your ankle over your knee and just make movements, round, circular movements with that knee, which will help the hip. And if you want to come back to standing, you're just going to do the same thing on the opposite side. The bigger the movements, the better. You don't have to go fast. You just need to feel it. Just be aware of sensation. 8 times in one direction, and then 8 times in the opposite direction. Good. Good job, everybody. All right. Okay, good. So when you're done, everybody's going to come back to seated. Again, sitting with your feet hip distance apart, inner edges of your feet in alignment. Sitting up nice and tall, so no slouching, nice and tall, lift the bottom of the breastbone. And we're going to practice our mudra, okay? So this is a mudra, which is a gesture. We're going to do a hand mudra. This is a therapeutic mudra. And think of this as just changing the energetic patterns of the body where the energy flows. And so the one we're going to do is the Vayu mudra. Vayu is wind. So you're going to use your left hand. So this one is a left-handed mudra. So you're going to take your left hand and you're going to take your pointer finger and bend it and put your thumb over that knuckle. And the other three fingers are going to stay straight. Now, if this is difficult to do, you can use your other hand and kind of hold it. And then you can just rest it right there on your thigh. And so my teacher says you do this 3 times a day for 2 to 3 minutes a day, in the morning, afternoon, in the evening. Okay, so what you're going to do now is eyes open or eyes closed, keeping this mudra, is you're going to become aware of the breath. So now we're moving into the pranayama portion of our yoga nidra for sleep. Again, everything we've done to this point is preparing us for yoga nidra. And just become aware of your breath. Notice the coolness of the breath on the inhalation and the warmth of the breath on the exhalation. Begin to take deep diaphragmatic belly breaths. So as you breathe, you feel your belly expand. And as you exhale, the belly softens. Breathing just like a newborn baby does when they're lying on their back and you look at their little belly. And you can see it move with their breath. Just check in that the breath is continuous, a continuous cycle of inhale and exhale without any pauses or stopping. And whatever your breath is doing today, it's okay. Just acknowledge it. It's all right. And now let's bring our breath towards balance, 1-to-1 breathing, where your inhale is the same length as the exhale. So you may inhale to the count of 4, see if you can exhale to the count of 4. And just watch the flow of the breath. Actively shape the breath and just smooth it out like a paintbrush. Continuous strokes and up and down and in circles, just like you were painting. Smoothing the breath out. The breath is quiet. Good. And now we're ready to move into our pranayama. So I'm just your guide here. Everybody's cadence or tempo is going to be a little different. So we're going to start and we're going to take 3 ujjayi breaths, breathing from the base of the throat. So if you can, make the inhale and exhale even. And the ujjayi breath is a balancing breath. And it's as though you're sipping the breath through a straw, a slight constriction in your throat. Just take 3 even breaths here. And next, we're going to practice the moon breath. And again, remember, I'm just your guide. Everybody's going to be just slightly different, their tempo. With this breath, we always inhale through the left nostril and exhale through the right nostril. So you can close your right nostril just very, very gently. You don't have to press hard. And now inhale through the left. When you're ready, close the left and exhale through the right. When you're ready, close the right and inhale through the left. Do this 4 more times on your own. And if this with your one hand is a little complicated, you can do it this way. Just use your finger, close the right, inhale through the left, and then close the left, exhale through the right. You can do it that way too. But do your best to make the inhales and exhales even. So this is piercing the moon breath. You can even visualize or sense the light of the incandescent moon underneath the left nostril. All the qualities of the moon, the calm moon, feminine energy, stabilizing. And after you've completed that 4th breath, we'll take 3 more ujjayi breaths, breathing from the base of the throat, a slight constriction of your throat. Sense or feel the breath at the back of the throat, where the throat and the sinuses meet. And then next, we'll practice the sun-piercing breath, Surya Bedna. And we always inhale through the right nostril and exhale through the left nostril. So again, I'm just a guide. So this is another way you can do this. You can use a finger and just close your left nostril, inhale through the right. When you're ready, close the right, exhale through the left. When you're ready, close the left and inhale through the right. And do that 4 more times on your own. And you can even see or sense the rays of the sun underneath the right nostril. Masculine energy. Just do your best to make the inhales and exhales even. And when you finish that last round, you can conclude with 3 ujjayi breaths, breathing from the base of the throat. And when you've completed this, just take a moment just to sit for a moment and just check in with yourself, check in with the mind, check in with your breath, and just notice if the mind maybe is a little calmer, if the breath is a little deeper. And I'll give everybody just a few minutes to go ahead and find your space for Yoga Nidra. Now that you have prepared the body with your warm-ups, the joint and gland exercises, and your pranayama. So go ahead and remember with Yoga Nidra, you can be sitting in a chair, you can be in a recliner, you can be in your bed, or you can be on your yoga mat. I recommend that you dim the lights or have a piece of material, light piece of material to put over your eyes because light is very stimulating to the nervous system. And your body temperature may drop, so I suggest putting a jacket on or if you have a blankie. Just make all your final adjustments wherever you're at. Please close your eyes, soften the jaw. And for the next few minutes, just become aware of the rise and fall of your breath, the effortless flow of the breath. As you inhale, the belly expands, and as you exhale, the belly softens. And now begins the practice of Yoga Nidra for deep sleep. And please set your intention, your resolve to relax, to be aware, and to allow your breath to flow effortlessly, even, and smoothly. And as your mind begins to pay attention to your breath, begin to find yourself increasingly aware of any imbalances or rushing in the breath. Just be aware of any imbalances or rushing in the flow of the breath. Become aware of this moment and what you bring to this moment physically, emotionally, and mentally, as this moment is like no moment before. Become aware of your physical body and sense any areas that hold any tension. And starting at the crown of the head, notice the eyes, the temples, the back of the head, the skull, and just sense how these areas may be holding tension or stress or even contraction. Notice any physical tension in the area of the throat and the neck and where the neck and the skull meet. I'm aware of your shoulders. Are they holding any tension or contraction? Observe any restriction in the chest or the breast area, shoulder blades, the upper arms, the creases of the elbows, the forearms, wrists, hands, any tightness in the legs or the thighs. Perhaps you notice restriction in the calves, the tops of the feet, or even the soles of the feet. And now bring awareness to the mind itself. Notice the quality and attention to what you bring to this moment. Not trying to change it, not having any judgment. Just notice what you bring to the present moment. Is the mind distracted? Focused? And then finally bring your attention to the distinct emotions or emotion that are present now. Your intention is to notice what you bring to the present moment and sense that the present moment is the gateway to undisturbed rest and sleep. And now please shift your awareness, your attention to awareness itself, to that which is observing your body and your mind, and recognizing the unique emotional state that you bring to the moment. Awareness returns to itself. And please begin to deepen your breath, shaping your breath so it is slow and smooth. And emphasize deep belly breathing, bringing a kind of full body awareness to the flow of the breath. And as you breathe in, the breath seems to ascend from the soles of the feet and descend from the crown of the head back to the soles of the feet. Inhale rises from the soles of the feet, purifying the mind and emotions. And as you exhale, the breath descends from the crown of the head as a way of emptying and clearing and letting go. The mind moves on the flow of the breath, ascending and descending. You inhale, the breath ascends from the soles of the feet and descends from the crown of the head back to the soles of the feet. Inhale rises from the soles of the feet, purifying the mind and the emotions. And as you exhale, the breath descends from the crown of the head as a way of emptying, releasing, and letting go. And now anchoring awareness in the body. Bring its silent and effortless strength as you exhale. The breath and the wave associated with it descends from the head to the soles of the feet, freeing the body and the mind of all burdens. Please continue to shape your breath, diaphragmatic belly breathing for the next minute or so. And as you follow that wave of exhale, you can see all the tension and the stress and fatigue draining towards the soles of your feet and emptying. And as you inhale, you sense the body absorbing strength and healing. Continue with the effortless flow of the breath. Now, please return to involuntary breathing, no longer shaping the breath. Continue to relax completely, the mind dissolving into involuntary flow of the breath. Relax the body and the mind completely. And observe how the rhythm of the breath is now being shaped and guided by innate intelligence. Of the intention to allow the mind to merge with the breath. And now please move effortless awareness to the crown of the head. Relax the crown of the head, the muscles at the top of the skull. See and sense any restriction or tension in this space and completely relax. Soften and release all contraction at the forehead. Relax the space between the eyebrows, the corners of the eyes. Relax. Sense the eyes sinking into their socket. Four corners of the eyes relax. Even sense your eyeballs relaxing, resting, healing. The entire field of sight and all of its impressions relax. You sense the mind, the sense of sight returning to silence, to stillness. And now bring your attention to your inner ears. In time, you will hear the sound of silence, the current of rest and healing. Bring awareness to the facial muscles, the nose, the jaw, the tongue widens, and all the facial muscles completely soften, offering the body the gift of deep rest. Become mindful of the throat and the neck. Be mindful of any holding in this space. More and more, you become a distant observer. Surrender and let go. Please become aware of the shoulders and completely let go of all holding. Aware of the chest and the breast area. Relax. Become aware of the heartbeat. And have the intention that the heart finds its ideal rhythm. You are returning to innate healing and deep rest and effortlessness. Be aware of the abdomen and the digestive organs. Relax. Sense the organs softening, resting vibrantly. Effortless awareness in the abdomen. Awareness to the lower back. Relax. Memory dissolves. You are succumbing to deep rest, rhythm of sleep. Both legs melting towards the earth, releasing all constriction and contraction in the legs, from the toes all the way to the hip joints. The legs completely succumb to relaxation. Release constriction and holding in the legs. And relax the toes one by one. Sense warmth in both of the big toes. Awareness in the second toes, both left and right. Relax the whole body. Third toes, left and right, relax. Fourth toes, relax. Toes are warm and resting, and both little toes, left and right, relax. The mind is absorbed in the little toes. And please move your awareness to both ankles, perceiving the left and the right. And if you notice an imbalance in the ankles, that one is easier to perceive than the other, then move your feelings or your awareness to the weaker of the two sides so that the experience is balanced between the left and the right. Now both knees, be aware of both knees and observe if perhaps you perceive one knee more easily than the other. And now balance the feeling between the left and the right. And more as you create the sense of balance between left and right, you begin to perceive them as one knee. And both hips, aware of the left and the right hip joint. Balance the feeling between the left and the right hip joint. And eventually the left and the right become one. Please do the same with the wrist, left and right. And if you perceive one more than the other, create the balance between them. And eventually they become one. Both elbows through deep breath. You balance both elbows and sense yourself expanding into boundless sleep. Left and right sides of the chest eventually become one. Both eyes. Notice if you feel or sense the left or the right eye more easily. Balance the feeling and sense the two eyes as one. In both inner ears, balance the feeling. Two become one in deep sleep. All distinctions give way to oneness, the ultimate state of ease. Now please move awareness to the flow of the breath. Become aware of the flow of the breath through the nostrils. Notice the very subtle distinction of the flow moving through the left and moving through the right. The intention to gradually dissolve any distinctions between the left and the right. Allow the breath to become balanced. See the breath flowing through the left and the right nostril, becoming perfectly balanced and even. Now invite perception to transition from the finite to the infinite beyond the mind, and sense yourself transitioning to enter sleep, limitlessness, Silence takes you by the hand and leads you home. You rest wholly in being, resting in the cradle of infinite, deep sleep. The practice of yoga nidra for deep sleep is complete.